iced coffee. Well, I would like to get into everything but I won't get into everything, but I'll just say I was flagged for deceptive practices. I don't even know what that means. All I do is talk about charts all day. So anyways, let's get right to it. I'll go ahead and transition over here to what I was looking at before, which was the Japanese yen and the British pound. I think the yen hit the an order block, right? Um, which drove it a lot farther down. It actually wasn't this far down not too long ago. As you can see, we're on the 15-minute chart. I was watching it probably up here, and I was thinking by 6 o'clock it might hit here. It is now way down here, and it is 6 o'clock. So, that being said, we have definitely found our bias. It looks like, and this would be what would be called a false, not false flag, but you know, I don't know what the word is for it, but you know, you got to push, and then you got another another push that gets higher. Everybody thinks it's going to keep going higher, and then it just drops. So the bias is definitely negative now. So it looks like the bias towards the British pound is definitely going to be going downward, and I think it may have something to do with the Forex Factory, the E and EISR, whatever this is, estimate may have something to do with it. I am not for sure. But that seems to be about the only thing that I can think of that would possibly cause it to go down. Now, that being said, looking at this, and the reason I had this like this is because there was a little spot right in between here that was a little bit of a gap, and I was thinking maybe it would get to that gap, it would turn around and go the other way. And since you know, the British pound has just been making a trailblazing effort to go completely crazy, I didn't think it would actually fall. But then again, if we look at something like this, where it made an M and it fell, it made its way back up. But this one, this didn't just kind of fall. This one just completely fell, and this was after it hit some order blocks. So what I want to do is probably take a look and see how far this could probably go down, because put a fib on it. I want to watch it. Oh, if it fell, okay, perfect. So that area I was looking at, right? So that would I guess rebalance it if it went right through it. So if it fell back up into this area that I was looking at, would probably make a prime condition for it to fall again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sell limit right around 151,670. That's 151,670. Right. Stop loss. Shouldn't get any higher than that current high right there. It may though. It could get possibly as high as, let's say if it gets as high, it does hit the bearish order block, and it could fall downward. But I don't think it will. But let's just go for safety's sake. 152.90. Right. And then here. take profit. I think it's what it's going to be doing is probably going to be aiming for lows of equal stature, or somewhat close to equal stature lows. So something like this, right? This would have almost like an effect that would say, hey, this is stable conditions, like right here, right? This here, you know, here's a right through there would be like a solid line, and people would easily think that it would bounce off of, I guess you could say. So 150, 560, 150, 560, I think would be good. 150, 560. Yeah, let's go with 150, 560. All right, go 3,000 units. Yeah, go ahead and do a market sell. Or not a market sell, limit sell. I think that's what's going to be needed. I don't think this is going to be a push down and then we're going to pull back up. I think this is going to be a pull back and then a push down. So that being said, let's move on to some crypto. Why don't we? Let's move on to Ethereum. I think I lost my Ethereum bid if I am not mistaken. Let me see. I did have a whole list active trades. Let me see if I'm still in any of them. Ethereum, I still am in Ethereum. Not looking good, but it did hit the lowest part I thought it would. And I think if it gets down here any further, I may add another. So here's where I entered before, was probably somewhere around 1809 or 1810. Now granted, I am not a I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a broker, I'm not any of those things. It's something I do for fun. I like to look at charts and try to tell you what I see, and let me know what you see if you're interested. So the reason I drew this is because this is where a breaker once was. Now it looks like the breaker, you know, whenever there's a low, right, there's a high, and then there's a lower low, there's a breaker that forms. Usually whenever the price gets above that breaker or comes down to it, it pushes it up. That's what's happened. And once it came down to this breaker, it pushed it up. Now it's broken through the breaker. See? But I do have my stop loss still way down here. And the reason I have it way down here, I think it has to do with these right here. So here, these areas right through here, I think these are what I'm saying won't get below. The reason I won't get below is because whenever I did make a trade, my first trade started here, right? And I ended up taking profits all the way up. Once it came back down, got in, ended up taking profits all the way up again. So that being said, this one might be slipping a little sideways, but that's okay. We are at a pretty good height for Ethereum. And we might be able to see higher. We'll have to see how this day plays out, and see what's going on. I'm waiting to see if it gets any lower, to be honest. See if I want to, because it looks like, you know, it did get lower. Then once it got to this line here, right, it wanted to stop and go higher. Right, and this line, I believe, if we go to the 1 hour, it is part of the 1 hour gap. The lower part of the 1 hour gap. Right, so this green line here is the higher, or actually this is the higher part of the 1 hour gap, or the lower part of the 1 hour gap, I should say, which would also be considered an order block. So what I would like, even though I've entered in way too early, if we could get down here, I would probably put in a lot more, but I would keep my